Welcome to jobskillshare.org. This video is specifically designed for our premium members with active membership. When we say active membership, basically when you become a member by going to the Get Membership page and then you become a member for 1 year, you retain some access, but after 1 year, your lab access usually expired and then you have to renew. And during this 1 year access, if anything gets updated, we make a video where you have some type of update on how to use these labs or what are these labs about. So the first thing is, if you're new and you became a member just now, you will log into your portal, clicking on community portal. You will automatically land on this page, and here you will click on lab dashboard, and here you will see your username, password, and a link to our practice lab access. We give library access, which is basically means that you have access to every single lab and anything that will be updated during your access period. And anything that is also called retired is not actually an expired labs. These are actually working labs, but they're just not aligned with new certification. Now, for people who are new to our platform, we don't go by certification, we go by skills. So even the retired labs, which is more than 100 labs over here, are still very important labs. For example, we talk about virtualization. If you hide this, you will see nothing under VMware, but we still tell our members that the VMware Certification Professional 6 one, which is this one, the data center virtualization, is still a great course for someone to learn virtualization skills at a professional level. We're not talking about just VirtualBox or on a computer virtualization. We're talking about a little bit more than that. So going back to what is new in your access if you're a premium member. The first course that you will notice over here is the N10008, which just got replaced by 007. So you can see both courses are available. And now the recommendation to our members is that if you were doing 007, you should not stop that. You should actually finish that because you're in a flow and you should learn it before you jump to the 008. Now, if you haven't started 007, then I think you should jump to 0 because it's a new content, new instructions, and there are new modules added to it. For example, cloud concept, and it goes into more practical side of it. And the equipments that is being used in this is also new. For example, if you come down over here, you can see we have a very good learning outcome, and then there's a lab topology, and everything is latest and brand new. So a lot of us right now, we're using domain 2019 domain controllers in here, and we use a lot of newer versions of other operating systems. So in 008, you see that it is again, this is a course designed for Network Plus. So basically the whole concept of this course is to give you some kind of a broad level knowledge on networking. It's not going to go into a Cisco networking at the very deep level, but it is going to touch some of the networking at basic level. And everything will be pretty good because if you start with Network Plus, then I think learning Cisco technologies or becoming a Cisco engineer becomes easier because now you know things on a broader level. But in our platform, you don't just know things, you also do things. And that's the main concept of our platform, that you have to get into these labs, you have to finish it. And even if we make videos on top of these labs, then that's very targeted towards real world skills. So this is the content that is available right here, from all the way from the basics of OSI model, topologies, protocols, cables. Now, in some cases, you may see that if you click on cables, some of these exercises may not have any labs, and that's okay because you can't have a lab if this is a something that is like a cable. Somebody has to explain a cable, then it's just that it will be having images. And then when it goes to something to do with the cable connection, then it gets to the labs where you have to work on an adapter, or maybe figure out where the cable is connected. And then you have all these other solutions like cable management solution, virtual network concepts, general attacks. Of course, they're not going to go into very deep like security ones. Protocols, again, these are very important protocols over here. And then, of course, going to the command line, which is always, we tell people that you have to have the basic knowledge of command line tools. And this is probably going to go over some of the things that you have already learned in your fundamental courses or A+ courses. Just going quickly, because you can come and open this lab in your Access and see all these other, modules that are added over here. So, what else is in the CompTIA place? Yes, we do have the 601 for a while now. So if you're new, then we do have 601 over here. Some other good courses available over here, and the A+ is still the 221002, which is still current and very, very powerful for the first course. This is basically if someone started our certification in our platform from here, for example, this one. And that is the first course, whether you are a member directly from JSS or whether you are a college student using JSS content right now, you still have to go through that first course. So that is very, very key course right here. If you are new, don't jump into this course. You should really finish this one. And like I said, you should really go from this method, like learning path, step by step, step 1 course, step 2, step 3. And then everything will be kind of given to you, just like what I'm doing in this video. It's like done over here in a very sequential method. So the rest is just other labs, like, if you want to learn about pen testing, it's there, and, security, a little more advanced labs over here too. In Microsoft, we have a pretty good information over here, but before jumping into Microsoft and talking too much about it, the two courses I think that you should really be looking at is MD100. We have completed this course in our platform. So if you were to take our certification courses from here, then the MD100 course have content with that. So it's a very lengthy course, but I think it's one of the best courses that we will have now, because that's the new course that we just added into with this lab, in a combination of our course with this lab. So it's very, very powerful. So if you are that person thinking that, okay, you know what, I finished my A+, because that was just fundamentals. I learned some random things at the very basic level, but now I want to actually learn some real stuff. I want to be able to manage Windows 10 in a corporate, in a business world. I want to be able to do that kind of deployments, managing printers, WDS. These names, what I'm talking about is what's worth it for you as a IT professional. We don't say that I have experience without telling people that what I know, because experience is not just you sitting there doing a reset of password for 10 years or 6 years, doing the repetitive work again and again. That's where a lot of people want to move out, and people start thinking about the entry-level positions in a very negative way because somebody just got stuck or got lazy, or for some reason they don't want to move out. So if you have to move out, then you have to tackle this type of learning, which you are going to learn something like MDT, WDS, user profile migrations, local policy, group policy, firewalls, and at a little bit of more of a like an infrastructure or a corporate level type of skills, not just a single laptop or a single virtual machine that you're learning it from. It's a great way to start, but you have to move up to be able to go for a little higher level jobs. So this course is gonna lead you towards that type of learning, and also explanation of how things are happening in a business. So then when you go to the MD101 course, which is a modern desktop, when we say modern, a lot of people now are using Azure Active Directory and everything just directly from the cloud, and they're using a lot of modern technologies, Intune and different type Office 365. So you're going to start touching that type of skills in this course. But this is a crucial one. After this, you're going to be able to do this, and you will be able to learn some of the modern world, and then that's where you're going to be very, very confident. Okay. Now let's talk about the custom labs. And custom labs are basically also about certain areas in IT, and the lab is kind of like a course. For example, if you look at it, a ethical hacker v10 course, then you can actually look into what this is teaching you, and it's going to be always targeted towards the title, which is ethical hacking. And most likely if you go to any courses, you're going to see something like this, and these are all hands-on skills for security individuals. There's so many security courses available even in the custom area, on top of the labs that are already available in the certifications. Under certification, the delivery is basically focusing on certification. But if you look on the bottom, we got some new labs from Practice Lab, which is amazing. We have Azure, few lab courses that can practically or hands-on give you that capability to go into these Azure machines, and then you can do what this is basically telling you to do. Now, the best thing about this is that when we say lab, right, lab has content, and the content is the best thing. You could have a virtual machine in your home, but then what are you going to do with that? And that is where a beginner is always going to have an issue. Okay, I got this set up, but what do I learn? So you have to follow either a course, or sometimes courses are not built in a very sequential method and is outdated. So it's best to follow the documentation approach then, because at the end you want to be an IT professional. And if you want to be an IT professional, you cannot just rely on a video. You have to really spend that time looking at document and perform that on the labs is the biggest thing over here. So look at here, we have Azure multiple courses, and on top of that we have 2019 custom courses. So you saw that we have in Microsoft, we already have 2012, which is in the retired section. We already have 2016 server courses, and now you can see in the Practice Lab you have 2019 course, which is right here, Windows Server Configuration and Maintenance, and then they have right here another ones too on the bottom. And also right here, Windows Server Administration Concepts, and then we have the other course on the bottom, right, for, like, if you want to learn a little bit more with 2019 server and its features in a very detailed way. And then after that we have these sandbox environment. I really love this option because sometimes we don't want to do lab, right? We don't want to get involved in some kind of lab process, or even though in Practice Lab you can just totally disregard the left side and just work on the right side with using these machines. But what I like about this is that you have capability now to open, let's say, Practice Lab Server 2019 sandbox, and everything will be there for you. You could even open this sandbox, Practice Lab's Windows mixed environment. What it does basically, when you open it, let's go ahead and start it. You see, it gives you like a mixed environment. Like if you check it, what are you gonna get? You're gonna get 2012, 2016, and 2019, and Windows 10, 8, and CentOS. I mean, that's amazing, because if you were the person and you come to me and say, I want to learn about servers, I will also tell people that till this date, people are using 2012 server in many platforms, okay? And they slowly moved to 2016, so they have a mix of this stuff, and now they're moving to 2019. So if you were to get hired as a sysadmin or a junior sysadmin, or you're trying to learn this type of skills, you have to actually go back. You cannot just go to a company and say, oh, I know about 2019, so I'm going to work on 2019. The company is going to tell you that, oh, no, we have actually mixed stuff, and because you are the tech guy, this is what we expected from you to know as a sysadmin level. So this is what you will get from these type of labs that are being updated. But again, the question is that if you're new, this is too much for you, right? We give you this access, this is too much for you. So then, of course, in the beginning, I mentioned that you should be following some type of courses that we provide. If you're confused, send us an email, do your query, like, this is where I'm confused, and we make a video for you, or maybe send you a straight, simple email. We are there to help you. As a member, we want to help you because we know that in the beginning, doesn't matter if you have 400 labs or 1,000 labs, somebody have to really guide you. And this whole platform is based on guidance, and that's what we do in this platform. Thank you so much for watching. Then these were the updated labs for so far for 2021, and maybe we'll have few more in coming months. Thank you.